Hello dear students, very good morning to all of you. So our today's class is based on the direct and indirect proportion, okay, or we can say direct and inverse proportion. So in previous classes you already studied about the you already studied about the ratio, that what are the ratio, what are called the proportion, okay. So there are two kind of proportion. First is direct proportion and then next one is indirect proportion, okay. So I think you already know that indirect proportion, if one quantity increase then other also increases, and if one quantity decreases then other also decreases. So they both follow same path. And in indirect proportion or inverse proportion, if one quantity increases and then another quantity decreases at the same time at the same rate, okay, and the vice versa. So these are called the direct and indirect proportion. So today we will learn how to use these direct and indirect proportion to solve our daily life problems, okay. So let's start with our first problem. So it says people of village decides to dig a public pond. I think in your village also there is a scheme called Manrega, okay. So in Manrega all people they all given a task to do some work in the villages. So like this, here some people decide to dig a public pond. If 30 villagers can dig it 35 days, in how many days 210 villagers can dig the pond? So first of all uh, we have to find out that which kind of proportion is this, okay. So let's start. So in this number of people, and we make a table of number of people and time taken. Now number of people are 30, then time taken is 35 days, okay. That's how you can fill this table. And now number of people are given. It is, what is the number of people? It is given 210. So we can put 210 here. But what is the time taken? Because it is not given in the question that how many days it will take. So we have to find this. So we will take it as x. So we don't know this value. Let the number of days required be x. Now I ask you that tell me that which kind of proportion is this? Is it direct or is it inverse proportion? So can you tell me, students? Yes, very good. So very good answer. You got it very correct. It is number of people 30, then time taken 35, and if number of people increases. So let's assume there is some pond, okay. So there are some people like 30 people, they are engaged in work and they dig the pond in 35 days. It takes 35 days. But if the people are more, so assume there are 210 people, so the time takes less days or more days? Obviously less days, because the people are more. So here number of people increases but time taken is decreased, okay. So which kind of proportion is this? Yes, very good. This is inverse proportion or indirect proportion. When the number of people increases, time taken to complete the work decreases, okay. So it means it is the case of indirect or inverse proportion. So now the product of two quantities are equal, and we know in indirect proportion the product of quantities are always equal, okay. So product of two quantities is equal. So here we have to product of this and this. So you know that if A A, B, C and D, these are in direct proportion. So you can easily say that A into B equals to C into D. So here we can take 30 into 35 because we have to multiply the quantities of, like if we have to multiply with number of people into number of days. So we take 30 into 35 and equals to 210 into x. Okay, now we can easily solve this one. So to find the x, you will take 210 to other side and it goes in downside or in divide. Now you can divide this one, cancel out this with 7, 7 5s are, and this 30, 5 6 are 30 and 6 5s are. So what is your answer? Yes, it is 5. So what is the value of x? It is 5, or we can say 5 days. So here you can see easily that 30 people can dig a pond in 35 days, but if the people are more, 210, then it takes only 5 days. Okay, so this is the case of indirect proportion. Okay students, I think now you understood. So let's revise. How did we solve this one? First, we make a table of number of people, then time taken. It is given 30 number of people, then days are 35, 210 people, but days are not given, so we can take it as x. Now it is the case of indirect proportion, so the product of this is equals to product of this. So by using this property we can find out the value of x. Okay, so now let's see next one. Oh, so it's a question. So use your notebook and draft and give the answer of this question. 100% had food provision for 24 days. If 20% left the place, the provision will last. And your time starts now. So first check, is it indirect or direct proportion? Then solve this question. Okay students, solve this first. Okay, and your time is over. So now time out. Okay, so first 100% had food provision, means there are 100% and there is some food for 24 days, but 20% left, means 20% left. So now the less person, how many? Very good, 80% are there. So the food will last more or less days? Yes, very good, because number of people decreases, so number of days increases. So this is indirect proportion. Now here person and here days, make a table. Person are 100 and days are 24. Then if 20% left, means how many persons are there? Now it remaining 80%. It's 100 minus 20, and now we don't know the days, so we can take it as x. Now cross multiply this one and equals to this one. So 100 into 24 equals to x into 80. Now you can find the value of x, and it can be written as upon 80. So you can cancel out 0 by 0, then 8 3s are, and then your answer is 30. So what is the correct answer? Yes, it is A. Okay, so this is how you can find the value. 15 women of self-help group can weave 500 gamosa in 24 days. In how many days 500 such gamosas can be weaved by 5 women? Okay, so here we have to check what is given to us. It is given number of women and number of days. Okay, now another number of women are given, but number of days is not given us to us. So let's check. First, see, this is called gamosa. It's very you can say favorite attire of the Assam. So how we can solve this one? First, make a table. So it is given gamosa, because the number of gamosa is always same, it is constant 500. Now number of women, so there are 15 women, then time taken is 24 days. Now it is given 5 women, the women are less. What is the time taken? So we can take it as x. Let the number of days required be x. Okay. Now again, which kind of proportion is this? If number of women increases, then time taken decreases, because more women can take less time to weave 500 gamosas. Okay, so again this is, yes, very good, this is indirect proportion. The work to be done is same. When the number of women increase, time taken to finish the work will decrease. It is the case of indirect or inverse proportion. Again, what is the rule? So it says, in indirect proportion, the product of quantities are equal. So the product of 15 into 24 is equals to, yes, very good, 5 into x. So here we can write this one as 15 into 25 equals to 5 into x. So from here we can find out the value as 72. So number of days is 72. In 72 days, 500 gamosas can be weaved. Again, question time for you. If x varies inversely with y and x equals to 20, y equals to 600, find the value of y when x is 400, and your time starts now. So use the property of indirect proportion and solve this question. Okay, students, your time is getting over. Okay, and finally time out. Okay, so what is the correct answer? Yes, it is D. Then the value of y is 30. So you can make it very easily. In inverse proportion, product of quantities are equal, y into 400. So y equals to 20 into 600 over 400. So here 0 0 0 0, 4 5s are, and 5 6 are 30. An empty tank can be filled up in 1 hour 20 minutes by 6 pipes. If 5 similar pipes are used, how much time will be required to fill up the tank? Okay, so we will solve this one again. What is given? So make a table of number of pipes and time in minutes. Okay, we have to take time either in hour or minute. So we choose minutes. Now number of pipes. Yes, it is very good, 6. And what is the time? It is 1 hour 20 minutes. So first, what we have to do? Yes, we have to change this time into minutes. So we know that 1 hour equals to 60 minutes. So it is 60 plus 20 means 80 minutes. So the time taken is 80 minutes. Now 5 similar pipes are used. So number of pipes is 5, but time is not given. So we will take it as x. Yes. Okay. So again, which type of proportion is this? So you tell me. Yes, absolutely correct. Okay. So it is again an inverse proportion. How? If number of pipes are 6, then time taken is 80. Now number of pipes are less. So time taken to fill the tank will be more. Number of pipes less and the time taken is more. So this is again, yes, inverse proportion. As the number of pipes increases, time taken to fill the same tank will decrease. It is the case of indirect or inverse proportion again. So what will we do? Product of quantities is equal. The product of two quantities is equal. When it is 6 into 80 equals to 5 into x. So from here we can find the value of x, and it is 96 minutes. So how many times it will take? 96 minutes, and we will change this one into hours, or we can take it as 60 plus 36, or 1 hour 36 minutes. One hour 36 minutes required to fill the tank by 5 pipes. Okay, now next question. A dam of the length 4 km can be constructed in 42 days by 120 workers. How many workers will be needed to construct the same dam in 30 days? Again, what is given? Yes, it is given number of workers, then time taken. Now number of workers, it is 120, then time taken is 42 days. Now it is given 30 days. Number of days is given 30 days, but number of workers is not given. Okay, so yes, we will take it as x. Now again, which kind of proportion is this? Okay, students, look here. It is given a dam of length 4 km. So if you have to check it is direct or indirect proportion. So for indirect proportion, the amount of work, or the amount of means here the length of dam, it should be same. So it is written here that same dam, the number of people they are constructing the same dam. So here the length of the dam is always constant. Okay. So now if the number of workers increases, then number of days, obviously it is decreased. So we can write this one here, as the number of days decreases, now required workers to construct the same dam will increase. And again it is indirect proportion. Now the product of two quantities are equal, and what are the quantities? Number of workers into time equals to number of workers into time. So we can write this one 120 into 42, 120 into 42, and then x into 30. So what is the value of x? So after solving this one, 168 means 168 workers are required to construct the dam in the 30 days. and here the length of the dam is same. Okay, and I have next question. A swimming pool can be filled in 4 hours by 8 pumps of the same type. How many such pumps are required if the pool is to be filled in 2 whole 2/3 hours? Okay students, again solve this one and your time starts now. So first check, is it direct or indirect proportion? Okay, so here time is over. So here what is your correct answer? Yes, it is C. A family consisting of 6 members can manage to run the expenditure of the family for 42 days by a fixed income. Now look here, income is fixed. In previous question, length of dam is fixed. Another question, number of gamosas is fixed. Okay, so if you have to check that is it indirect or is it inverse or direct proportion, so just you have to check that there is given a fixed word here. So here it is given fixed income. If one member in the family is increased, then how many days the family can be managed to run with the same income? Okay, again with the same income. So what is given to us? Number of workers and then time. So here how many members are there? 6, and time taken is 42. One member in the family is increased, so what will be the new? Yes, it is 7 because one member increased, so now new number is 7. In how many days? And it is x. Let the number of days required be x. Again here, as the number of family members increases, number of days to manage the expenditure with the same income will decrease. So again it is the case of indirect or inverse proportion. And again product of two quantities are equal, so it is 6 into 42 equals to 7 into x. Okay, so after solving this one you can get the answer, and it is 36 days. In 36 days the family can be managed to run the expenditure with same income. Okay, now another question. Reena takes 24 minutes to reach her school. If she goes at a speed of 5 km per hour, suppose she wants to reach the school in 20 minutes. What should be her speed? And your time starts now. Okay, students, your time is getting over. Finally, time is over. So again, this is case of inverse proportion. So you can use that property, and the answer is 6 km per hour. Two carpenters can complete 4 new windows in 7 days. A carpenter fell ill before starting the work. In how many days the remaining carpenter can complete the work? And then next, how many carpenters will be needed to complete the work in single day? So again, 2 carpenters can complete 4 new windows in 7 days. So again, what is fixed here? Yes, they have to make the same windows. They have to make only 4 windows. So what is the case 1? Number of carpenter, it is 2, and time taken is 7 days. Now a carpenter fell ill. It means how many carpenter are left? Yes, only 1. Okay, so now we have to find the time taken, and it is x. Let the number of days required be x. As the number of carpenter decreases, time to complete work increases. Again, it is the case of indirect proportion. So here the product of 2 quantities are equal. So again, multiply this and this. So x equals to 14 days. It means only one carpenter complete 4 new windows in 14 days. Again, the next question is, how many carpenters will be needed to complete the work in single day? So again, number of carpenters 2, time taken 7, but we have to complete it in 1 day. So number of carpenters is x. So we can take it as y. As the number of days decrease, so number of carpenter required to complete the work will increase. So number of days decreases and number of carpenter increases. It is the case of indirect proportion. So again, multiply the product of 2 quantities equal. So y equals to 14. It means we need 14 carpenters to complete the work in 1 day. If 2 cardboard boxes occupy 500 centimeter cube space, then how much space is required to keep 200 such boxes? And your time starts now. Solve this one. Is it direct or indirect proportion? Okay, and your time is getting over. Finally, time is over. So which kind of proportion is this? First we have to check this one. Is there any constant or fixed thing? I think you cannot find. Okay, so number of cardboard and then number of space. We have 2 cardboard, then space needed 500. Now we have 200 boxes. So if the 2 boxes, then it needs less space. If the boxes are more, then space needed, yes, very good, it more. So we can take it as x, and this is again the case of direct proportion, not the indirect. Okay, this is the case of direct proportion. So use the property indirect proportion. The ratio of quantities are equal. Okay, so here ratio is 2 upon 500 equals to 200 upon x. So cross multiply. So you will get 200 into 500 upon 2. Okay, so what is the answer? It is 50,000. Okay, so how did we solve? First we check this is the case of direct proportion, and in direct proportion we what is the property? It is the ratio, or the ratio of the quantities is always same. Okay, so now the correct answer is B. Okay, now what is the next question? Limsing has a map of road. The ratio of distance shown in the map and the actual distance is 1 centimeter to 18 kilometer. If he drives 72 kilometer, what will be the distance in the map? So here ratio is always given, or already given, and he needs that what is the value of 72 kilometer in map. So let's take, there is a map, is the map of Assam. He has to go from Guwahati to Morigaon. The distance is 72 kilometer. Now what is the ratio? I think you know from the geography that this ratio is the proportion, or if the actual distance increases, then map distance also increases, isn't it? So if map distance is 1 centimeter, then actual distance is 18 kilometer. Now he drives 72 kilometers, so it is the actual distance. So we can take 72, but we have to find the distance in the map. So let's assume required distance be x. Okay, again this is the case of direct proportion, because more the actual distance covered, more would be the distance in the map. Now the ratio of two quantities are equal. So for direct proportion we know that the ratio of two quantities is always equal. So we can take ratio of this and ratio of this. From cross multiply we can find that x equals to 4 centimeter. Okay students, so this is the question for your value based. During Christmas, a secret Santa event was held in kindergarten. The teacher announced that everyone will be receiving gift. The children were delighted hearing this. Another teacher, dressed as Santa, came to distribute the gift. The children sat and waited for their turn and were excited to open the gift after receiving them. Now there was no shouting or pushing each other. What quality did the children display? Okay, so your time starts now. So what quality did the children display? Okay students, your time is getting over. Okay, so finally time is over. So yes, correct answer is B, patience. They have patience. Okay, now your final question, it is the feedback question. So you have to give feedback for today's class. How do you feel for today's class? And your time starts now. Okay students, your time is over. Okay, so what did we learn today? what did we learn today? We learned about the indirect or inverse proportion. So how do we find what is inverse proportion? In indirect proportion, if one quantity increases, then other quantity decreases, or vice versa. If one quantity decreases, then other quantity increases. So this is called inverse proportion. Okay, and in inverse proportion we know that the product of two quantities is always same. So product of two quantities is always same. So we already use this property by in solving some questions. Okay, you already studied about that how many people needed to do this work in how many days. Okay, so these are called inverse proportion. And also we know that if we take map question, it is the case of direct proportion. So students, now you have to what you have to do, you have to take some more examples and more questions based on this and try to solve all of them. Okay students, so now it's time to end the class. We will meet in next class. Till then, goodbye and thank you.